Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. President, and council members. I've had the opportunity to speak to a number of people over the last week or two about the position as we see it. We certainly favour the proposal that the Mayor has put forward. We would hope to be able to continue to have fruitful discussions with council members and the Mayor about fine-tuning certain aspects that will hopefully make it better for the community again. I won't take the whole 10 minutes. I'm struggling a little bit at the moment. I think I represent the patients, as many patients as possible. We, at one-on-one in the city, everybody, when I hear well-meaning people talking about that so many of these people somehow don't deserve the use of medical marijuana because there can't be this many people that are sick, I really find it just absolutely astounding. I really do. There's not a person here in this room that can look at any other human being and say that they're well or they're not well. They really don't know. And it seems to me that society at this stage is in a mess. It's trying to find another direction to take this country, and we believe that medical marijuana can dramatically reduce healthcare costs for individuals, can make a huge care and aged care facilities, can change the way that we look at prescription medication. I've been insulin dependent for 28 years. I was fortunate enough to play on 2 Olympic basketball teams. I've travelled the world over and over. I've coached against nearly every major college in the United States. We do not have people come into our store under 21 years of age. We do not sell marijuana to children. We do not advocate that anybody should use marijuana that doesn't need it. But I'm telling you that there are a huge number of people out there that are suffering from a wide variety of problems. A nice young lady today said maybe 2% of the people have some type of problem out there. I would tell you, I've been travelling this country now for 15 years trying to teach a positive message to diabetics, from one end of the country to the other, trying to say there's light at the end of the tunnel. This is not something that will destroy you. 1 in 3 children born after the year 2000 in the United States are diabetic. 1 in 3. 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 people that you pass in the street is a diabetic or a pre-diabetic. So how can we walk past people and say that there's not enough people in need to have medical marijuana dispensaries? We have people coming in every single day that would break your heart. If you sit there for the day, they would break your heart listening to the stories that they have. The number of veterans that we come in that look quite normal, that are suffering excruciating problems. It's so sad. It is so sad. When we get a young man saying, "What do you think they'll think of me, Coach, when I walk out onto the street? I look okay, don't I?" He looked about 18. He's 28. And then he takes his cap off and says, "Maybe I should just go without my cap," and he's got 1/3 of his skull missing. I just find that really hard. I just find that really hard to handle. I have an incurable form of bone cancer now, along with the diabetes. So 4 months to 4.5 years or so to live is what they say. I don't believe that, but that's the diagnosis that I'm trying to fight. I don't want my wife to be sitting around looking at me, lying around in a chair dosed up with morphine. Medical marijuana may not take away all of the pain that I get at the moment, but it wraps itself around it enough to let me sleep, so I can sleep through the night. I'm not supposed to be around a lot of people. The immune system's badly damaged. But what do you do when you're simply being inundated by people that are suffering such terrible, terrible problems? This is not a joke. This is not recreational. This is not lying around in a park. If you're worried about children using marijuana, ask their parents. What are they doing? Whether the parents have some responsibility. I just don't understand. What, are we going to throw everything back on a medical marijuana dispensary because of the shortcomings of parents not telling their children? If there's marijuana around schools, get after the people that are selling it. Put them in jail. We don't want that. We don't want any illegal use of it at all. We certainly do not want people pushing it at children. I don't think you should put anything into your body that you don't need. I just think that this would cut medical costs. The reason it's not legal, medically legal, is because it would cut medical costs on prescription drugs by about 75%, and Big Pharma doesn't want it. I mean, it's just It's just a fact of life. We haven't been closed. We've tried to work with local police. I can't complain. I think people have treated us respectfully. They've asked us questions. And what we've tried to do is survive. And we've tried to survive for one reason and one reason alone. And honestly, people might think all of these pay, everybody opens up and is running it for profit. I tell you, we're certainly giving a huge amount of money away every quarter to the taxation people, over and over and over. We pay every bill we're supposed to. We pay everybody a livable salary, and we tax everybody the same as they're supposed to be. We respect everybody in the community. If you misbehave coming into our place, we ban you. If you can't produce the correct paperwork, we ban you. It's as simple as that. And all of the people that I know in the United Patients Alliance, this is their goal. We don't want to do this wrong. We don't want to mess up San Diego. We want to make San Diego a better place to live. We're trying to help people's quality of life and help them live in this city in a way that we can all be proud of. We want to pay our way. The only problem that I see with the regulations as being proposed at the moment, I think there's going to have to be a little more discussion about the issuance of a state-type card, purely and simply because a lot of people are really up against it. They can't afford another $170 or $180. You know, this is a lot of money, but that's to be discussed later. As far as everything else goes, you know, we can try and work with that. That's the goal. We are not the bad people. This is a crazy, when people keep talking about cigarettes and alcohol and then putting marijuana in the same thing, that's disgraceful. You know, there's no redeeming features for those two products that are out there in the community, but we have established another form of prohibition that's just magnified everything. We've recreated prohibition at its worst. And what we need, the rules are there right now. Punish people. Say they take it out and they open it up and start smoking it outside. Jail them. Arrest them. The law's there for that. You can't smoke in public. All of our patients are told to take everything home. They're not to open it up. They're not going to come and take it from us and go and try and sell it to a school child. We can track where it comes from. We know whether anybody's trying to come into our place and sell anything that's Mexican from a cartel. We wouldn't touch that stuff. We are trying to produce something that can change the lives of people, their quality of life, that can help them get through the day, that can help them sleep through the night. That's what we're trying to do. And they're your mothers, your fathers, your children, your grandchildren, people you work with, people in your office. That's who they are. We're ordinary people. We're just ordinary people trying to avail ourselves of something that won't send us or our family broke and go look at these poor people sleeping on the streets. Half are out there because they've lost everything paying for medical prescription drugs. And they're on the streets. And we're sending people away to fight every day and die and come back with horrendous injuries overseas and then frowning upon them when they come home because they want to use medical marijuana to cut their costs and survive. Where is the sense? Where is the compassion? What are we really about? Is this a compassionate country? Are we out there to help the people that can't help themselves? I don't know how much longer I'm in this business, but I'm here for one reason, and I will do it till the day I die. We have to start fighting for people that are desperately in need, and we want our neighbours and our friends to be compassionate enough to say there's a way that we can make this work for the benefit of our society in general. We can make this society the way. We're not going to fall into the Colorado trap. You don't do all of the rubbishy thing. We're trying to do this in an orderly way, to work with people in a controlled way that brings discipline to an industry that can change the lives of thousands of people. I thank you very, very much for the opportunity to speak. I really hope we get a chance to talk again as this begins to unfold. But this is, nothing's achieved without passion. If you really believe in something enough and you want to make it happen, then you pour your soul into it and you give everything you can. You know, you don't give very much when you give of your possessions. It's when you give of yourself that you truly give. I thank you very much.